Hello, everyone. This is Slinger, who is absent this week from the podcast. Been a good run, 16 weeks with me in the fucking thing. I hope the boys can carry out this episode by themselves, and hope you enjoy.
Alright, it's going.
All right. Welcome to the Drip League Podcast, episode 16. Today is a fucking Halloween themed episode. We're going to do Halloween stories, favorite horror movies, games, whatever the fuck. And just go on. Slinger was supposed to be here, but he's a dumb cunt.
Yeah, and he fell asleep.
Listens to it while he's editing, and he fell asleep. So now it's just going to be us and we're going without him. So, you guys have any Halloween stories?
No.
I hate this man so much. You don't have one fucking out there Halloween story or notable thing at all?
Nope.
What?
Fucking Contra.
Oh, fucking
sucks.
Alright.
What's your favorite horror movie then, Contra?
Never seen one.
What?
Fuck you.
You've never seen a single horror movie?
Not a single one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to Massachusetts and make you live one.
This man. He's fucking so uncooperative.
I actually have
Hey, I'm
one
not doing it
funny
on
story.
purpose. I just can't.
You don't have any horror. You've actually never seen a horror movie?
Never.
What?
Fucking loser.
Not even
You're
one.
a fuck.
There's
You've
no fucking way, bro.
How have
You've
you
not
been
seen,
alive
like,
so long and haven't seen
You haven't
a
even
horror
seen any
movie?
classics?
Nope.
Like Scream or something? What?
Not a single one.
Have you
Damn.
played any horror games?
Does Resident Evil count?
The new one?
The first one.
The first one, yeah, when you were a kid and it scared you, I suppose.
Oh, well, I played it like 2 years ago.
Okay, go fucking kill yourself. This man. All right,
Fucking
okay,
guy.
give some Halloween stories. Goddamn, fucking
Okay,
worthless
so
piece of shit.
one of the simplest ones I've had was back when I was in elementary school. I went as Scream, and I had the mask that bleeds, but the fucking mask doesn't come with fake blood. So my dumbass thought, oh, here's how I'm gonna make fake blood. I ran like a red permanent marker under the sink into it, and it turned pink. When I went to school, I was I would squeeze it and nobody could really tell what was going on with it because it was very light pink. But then my teachers caught on and they're like, yeah, you gotta go home. You can't fucking have that. So then that night, I link up with my dad and we go trick or treating in the mall. And he's like, what kind of sorry ass fake blood is this? He gets a bottle of Powerade and he fucking pours it in there and he goes, that looks better. And like I squeeze it and that shit's cold as fuck on my face. Did not come prepared though. I had like a little pumpkin basket and like barely filled it with candy. And I was like, damn, this sucks.
Bro, I
And then
got
for the following
pillowcases.
years, I did like trash bags,
Yeah, I did pillowcases.
pillowcases.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Did you wear them
Pillowcase.
on your head though?
No, you fucking. What's with you and the KKK? Goddamn.
I don't know. I think I'm embracing my white appearance.
You're so obsessed with them.
Trying to squat up.
I
Trying to
fucking-
think. What's that? What about you though? What's like something you had when you were a kid? What was your like
Oh,
child
I had a
Halloween
chick. I
story?
remember getting pissed off because one time we were going around, trick or treating, and I went to this lady's house and instead of candy, she gave me a Jesus pamphlet. I was so fucking pissed, bro. Like, I'm here to get candy, bitch, not learn about Jesus. What the fuck are you doing handing out Jesus pamphlets on Halloween? You fucking killjoy. Like, who the fuck does that? That's like worse than giving out an apple. At least I can fucking eat an apple. You fucking give me a goddamn pamphlet
I
about
bet your
Jesus.
fucking fingers started burning when you touched that shit.
I wanted to light her house on fire, fucking bitch. How dare you? I've never been so offended in my life on a holiday. Be like, what? Save this shit for Christmas. It's Halloween. It's a one night Halloween where you can be spooky and do whatever the fuck. And you give me a Jesus pamphlet. You can go die.
There was a
But-
time I went out to West Hollywood, and West Hollywood is where all the homosexuals are. And they always have like a yearly parade where they have like the most outrageous and overdone costumes and shit. So we're walking around. I'm creative as fuck. I'm just wearing a tank top and I got my muscles out. And I didn't even have a fucking like costume. That was just me. I was just dressed like a fucking jock. And I'm walking around and I'm seeing like there's gay dudes in cross dressing, like making out with each other. There's a bunch of hot chicks walking around. I'm like the most normal person there because I'm not in costume, and I'm just like, this is interesting. Never did I ever think I'd be surrounded by gays and drag. but it's a thing that happens. And then I think that same, not that year, but the next year, we were living in this really rich white neighborhood. So I was like, we took trash bags with us and we're walking around. I didn't have a costume. I just slicked my hair back and I put like a trench coat on. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm
The
like
Columbine
Italian.
shooter.
Columbine shooter or Italian. Like that was the last time I went trick or treating. And these motherfuckers, I walked up to one house. They were watching Fox News. Like Fox News was on. You could see through their humongous windows. And there was a bowl of candy that was like, take one piece only. And I'm just like,
Yeah, it never
no,
happens.
no, I fucking dumped that shit in the trash bag and I just kept it pushing. And we went
Yeah.
up to this other house. They had candy on the stairs leading up to like this big ass bowl. And the lady's like, just take all of it. Nobody's coming here. So I take the whole bowl. I just dump it in there. And she's like, I got another one. She comes out with another bowl, dumps it in there. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna die of diabetes tonight.
Did you do that shit with like your family members where you like trade candy and shit? You'd be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
candy. Like, I don't want
occasionally.
this candy. I like this candy. You don't. Fucking let's
Yeah.
trade. Let's get some of this
Definitely,
shit.
yeah. I mean, the sis would do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we would just be trading back and forth because we knew what each other liked. So it's like, you want this Reese's cup? You want this Baby Ruth? We'd just pass it over. Except for the ones, there was these ones, they were like marshmallows filled with like grape jelly. I was very particular about not trading those away because those were my favorites.
See, for me, a lot of my stories come from the fact that my family does a haunted house. Well, did a haunted house like every year.
Hey, yo.
And I've always like, I think the last time was like last year, or the year before I did it. Like, I have so fucking much fun just scaring kids. You'll get people wanting to take pictures of me. I remember this one chick last year or the year before. I forget which one it was. But like, I do a clown most years because so many people are fucking afraid of clowns, right?
Yes.
So I get this fucking like this jumpsuit, and I get this fucking clown mask, clown hands, spiked boots or whatever, and some fucking prop murder weapon or whatever. You know, I'll hide around corners. I'll fuck with people and stuff. But like, there's this one where this family came up to me and was like, "Look, you see that? That's my sister over there." It's a full-grown woman, like 30-year-old. She's like, she's deathly afraid of clowns. Can you fuck with her? I chased this lady halfway down the street. Like, I just got out of my fucking.
Yeah.
I just followed her around. She kept looking at me. She's like, "He's following me. Get him away from me." He keeps looking. I just started jogging towards her. And I chased this woman all the way down the street, just fucking chasing her, just going after her. Then I'd walk back, and she'd walk back towards, like, you know, reluctantly, and I'd fucking go back out there again and chase her. And like her family's just fucking dying laughing as I just keep chasing this woman around.
Hell yeah.
This one chick similar too. Actually, a chick I went to high school with, I'm pretty sure. I was also deathly afraid of fucking clowns. I scared her back into like the SUV she came in, and like she like crawled like in the SUV in the like back seat to like she's backed up against the door, and so I just act like I'm crawling into like the open door to get her, and she starts fucking wailing, like screaming loud as shit.
Damn,
so that was pretty funny. I love the like little kids like
women.
It's funny because it's the fucking like growner, like older fucking like people that are the ones that are scared.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like I had a chick who I think I was Freddy Krueger one year. And one chick talked about like how her fucking like this kid, I don't know how old he was, but he was young enough to where she was literally still carrying him, right? Like he wasn't just walking around; she was carrying him, and she was saying how he liked watching Jason chop women up into pieces and shit. I was like, "You're raising a serial killer," and like she'd have me take pictures with them, and she was literally have this kid again, young enough to where she's carrying him around still, talking about how he liked watching Jason cut up people. I was like, all right, yep, this kid's going to kill someone when he's older.
He is. You're going to see him on the news. Keep up with that kid, bro. Keep up with the shit he posts on Facebook.
Like, you just say it so cheerful. How you so cheerily say that like it's a normal thing? Like,
right,
oh, yeah, he loves watching.
My fucking toddler loves watching people get cut up on movies. Like, goddamn.
You just say that shit so casually. Fucking whatever, you know, I can't make people good parents, you know?
Of course.
That was always my favorite part was fucking haunted house. I just like scaring people. I don't really care about trick or treating. I just liked scaring people.
There was a dude in Hollywood on the like Walk of Fame where all the stars are and shit. He would just stand and he would like stand in a corner or like this little like in this wall there was like a big old space cut into it. So it looked like he was just like a statue there. So then whenever somebody would walk past him, he would just like walk right in front of him, just like shoulder check him. Yeah. Scare the fuck out of people. And he like walked up on me too, and I just bolted down the street when he fucking started moving. I'm like,
that's
hell no.
I do. I'd hide behind like the cars and stuff and like watch the window to see when people were coming up. Or like I love like the haunted house was usually just made of like tarps, like a bunch of tarps put together. So where there was
Yeah.
like, and then we have like a bunch of family members like working dummies, making them pop up and shit. So like, and there's like exits. Like they get their candy and then they walk down like this exit and hide around the corner right there. So as
Nice.
soon as like they walk out, I'd fucking pop out and I'd scare them. I also like again, I did the following them like outside of the fucking like actually place a lot because that's when you start to scare them because they're like, once I'm out of this place, it's over. And so I'd be like, I'll just fucking pretend I'm following them down the street.
Yep. Just
And
walk
that's
out of
what
the
fucking
haunted
gets them
house.
scared. That's when they start running or walking faster. They keep looking back
So
like
it's
little
not
kids
part of
saying,
the
"He's
bit
following
anymore.
me. He's following me." It's fun time.
I remember watching a documentary about Chicago and like Chicago gang violence, and some motherfucker was like, Halloween's the best time of year to kill somebody because everybody's in costume and they think they're just props on the street.
I call that's a literal fucking like horror movie trope. Is that like is the Jason or Michael Myers going out on Halloween and people thinking he's
Hell yeah.
like, that's
I mean,
an actual trope.
yeah, that's why they made, I mean, that's what Halloween was all about. Literally, Halloween night, this fucking dude in a mask is just walking around cutting people up, and nobody takes it seriously.
A new one
For-
just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, Halloween Kills. Somebody said that Michael Myers is homophobic in that movie because he called someone a while he was running to kill him. I don't know how true that is, but I kind of want to see if it's based.
Like it's so retarded. Like he's homophobic because they said it's because he killed a gay couple. Like he literally kills anyone who gets in his way. Like what kind of
Honestly.
fucking proof is that he's everyone phobic? Like he's a literal murderer. Like
Exactly.
he's killing anyone who's in his way. Who cares if the couple was fucking gay?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
care.
Murder is murder, bro.
Shut the fuck up, Contra. You fucking fat. You haven't even
Man,
seen a
God
fucking
knows.
horror movie sometime.
Yeah, the fuck.
Who
don't
the
even
fuck has
know.
never seen a horror movie? Like at least one.
Me.
How?
I don't know.
Fuck you.
I literally don't get it. How?
I don't have the answers to this.
You ain't got the answers, Contra.
Contra probably just has repressed memories or some shit. Probably found his mother in like a dominatrix outfit on Halloween.
Oh
He just
god.
suppresses all of it now.
Bloody nurse.
God.
It just takes one little twist and all the memories will come flooding back to him.
Hell yeah.
And
He
fucking,
probably saw his mom dressed as his dad dressed as a gimp and his mom as a dominatrix, and he just chose to block that out for the rest of his life.
he's like, Halloween doesn't exist in his brain anymore. Ugh. God damn.
His dad dressed up as Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah. His mom was the cop. She was just wearing a strap on down there.
Just some random white dude in there was playing Zed.
Fucking
hate.
God, that'd be a horrible existence.
Man, you mentioned haunted houses. I actually went Halloween of 2018. I went to Universal Studios with my first girlfriend and her family, and they had a bunch of themed ones. Like they had a Poltergeist themed one. They had Unfriended was a movie that came out recently at that time. Unfriended being the most retarded horror movie I've ever seen in my life. Just so you know, some dude gets fucking killed by his blender. So like somebody hacks like a Skype call and starts killing all the people in it off one by one. One of them literally dies when he sticks his hand in a blender and that shit turns on. I don't know how the fuck, but in the haunted house, there is a dude whose whole job there as an actor was to shove his hand in the blender, have it get blended up, and then he'll come running at you with his bloody hand.
I
And,
never
like,
went to one of the official ones, but like when I was trick or treating, that was always my favorite thing to do was go to different haunted houses. Like it was always that.
They also had like a Stranger Things haunted house, like the flower face creatures would run at you and shit. They would always have like this ambient music, and then there was like obviously like they would try to make it a jump scare, so there'd be like a big flashing light, a loud ass sound, and then one of the actors will walk up on you. And I remember one of them was for like I think it was the movie Trick or Treat, or it was Poltergeist, and one of the actors like out and like reached his hand out to touch my ex's brother, and he like hit him in the hat, and he was like, I was about to fucking punch that guy. I was like, you should have. I would love to see someone get into a fight with a fucking like haunted house actor. That shit would be hilarious.
Fucking what the fuck? Yeah, I always wanted to go to one of the professional ones, but like I never really had the money or like the spare cash to go.
Let's fucking go to Universal Studios, Skelly.
I mean, I'm down. I'm a little old for them now, but I'm always down.
Like there was another one too. It's still in Universal Studios. It's like this big ass tunnel, right? It's just all black lit, and it was full of people holding like prop weapons in their hands, and like you'd be walking through. Some of them will just start fast walking up behind you. Some of the ones that you're walking up on will like fucking like kind of get in your face, like they're about to like trying to make you flinch and shit. And some were literally chasing people down the tunnel. And I'm looking back, like watching this one dude running away. I think the dude was dressed as Scooby Doo, and he was running away from this thing. And I'm looking over, like, what a fucking loser. And then I turn around, and there's this one dude in front of me in like a rotting zombie mask, and he just fucking like moves his face right up into mine. I'm like, God damn, okay.
Isn't there like there's the one that's like it's like labeled the scariest haunted house in America or whatever that you actually have to sign a contract for, and they're like allowed to actually do shit to you.
McCamey Manor.
You like sign a contract to just get fucking tortured essentially.
Yeah. There was a horror YouTuber named Lazy Masquerade that I watch. He made a video on it, and people were talking about how like one of them got buried alive. One of them was thrown into a van with no seatbelt. They were just beating the shit out of him, driving the van around, making him hit his head and shit. He got like a couple of concussions from that. Somebody, I think, got waterboarded. And like the guy says, people sign waivers and they're known, like they are let know that these are like actors and that they're not really in danger. They can stop anytime. And like if you survive, I think you make like they give you like $10,000 or $20,000 as a prize. But nobody ever does because this guy beats the shit out of you, and like he has like former Marines and former like military people like torturing you essentially.
I can
for
take
his money. Right, bro? 10 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand. Like,
factor, but on a smaller scale. Just fucking a little thing of fear factor. Yeah. So what's your favorite fucking horror movie though?
My favorite horror movie?
Yeah, yours.
I'll have to give it up to Friday the 13th.
The original?
Yeah, like something about Jason Voorhees as a character to me, this big invincible faceless entity who never fucking dies. To me, I always idolize that.
You see, mine's actually like the complete opposite, almost like opposite, like in a different way. Where mine's Friday the 13th, the original, because like
of the mom.
no, because I don't know, like because especially compared to like Jason and Michael Myers, who are like these forces of nature almost. Freddy is so like personable. Like he has such a personality and he cracks jokes. Like he's a very human villain, like and very evil. Like he feels almost more evil than Freddy and Jason because they're just like forces of nature, right? It's like a tsunami. Freddy, it's like he's like very humanly sadistic and enjoying torture. And it was very different because at the time it was like, especially like the 80s, every horror movie was the invincible faceless slasher or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Freddy was the kind of one that he'd crack jokes, he'd just psychologically torture you. Like I liked how different that was comparatively.
Yeah, because he has more of a personality with it, and like he plays with his victims, whereas Jason just chases you until you fucking trip over something. Whereas Freddy, for one, you can't escape him. Everybody needs to sleep.
It's also like a much more interesting concept to me because it's the dreams. It can be anything, like the dreamlands and all the different shit he'd do, like creatively and stuff. It makes it a lot more fun than just getting stabbed in a bunch of different ways.
For real, yeah, definitely. Like I do like Freddy in that regard because he's kind of like, I would do that shit. You know what I mean? I would crack if I do it long enough, obviously, like, and I'm comfortable with it. I would start cracking jokes and shit. Why not? I totally feel it.
Like it's fucking, I don't know. Again, it was so fucking different. And like, I think Scream. I also like the first Scream a lot because again, it's like cheeky. It's a smart movie, but it also like plays by its trope. It's fucking a good satire and commentary on horror movies in general.
Essentially, that's kind of what it was. It's like it was kind of a parody of slasher movies, but not too much. You know, like Scary Movie obviously was.
Yeah, but it was a parody, but while being better than almost all of them. Like it was. Yeah. It was a parody of itself, and then yet it was better. Followed the rules better. Was so scarier at times. Like the boyfriend twist when it essentially tricks you because you're like it's obviously him. Mm-hmm. But then it fucking tricks you, and then it's like, nope, it was actually him. Like the two killer reveal is also great.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
It
at
is a
first you
movie
think
that
it's,
keeps you guessing. Yeah.
it's like at first you think it's like a Jason type situation where it's just like this killer who's somehow everywhere at once, but then it's
Yep.
revealed, it's two killers. So like, it's actually a good twist.
I
And
feel
of
like
course,
I Know
being
What You Did
funny.
Last Summer is that kind of movie too. Because it's like a group of friends. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like a group of friends hit a guy in the street. They accidentally kill him. They just dump his body in the river. And then one by one, they all start getting murdered after like a year or so. And like the killer keeps making references to that incident. So it's like, is it this same person that they killed, or is it one of the group people who's just murdering everybody? So it's an interesting twist too.
Or fucking Saw. The first Saw is also a good one with the twist.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen any of the other fucking Saw movies except the first one.
There's really no story to any of them other than the first. Like the first one had the most substance, whereas the other ones, there is story to them, but it's like they mostly focus on the gore and the torture porn aspect of it.
And it was like, wasn't a project between like two college dudes, I'm pretty sure, which is why
Yeah.
most of it's in one room.
Yeah,
It was very
the
low
first,
budget.
the first Saw movie. I believe we talked about this once.
I think
But
so,
yeah,
too.
yeah, it was a small
Okay.
scale project. Yeah.
That twist was so good when he just gets up at the end.
That was raw as
And he
fuck too.
closes the door.
Yeah, it's like this, and then the key washing down the drain, like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That part hit different too. The fact that it's futile essentially the entire time.
I haven't seen the movie, but I also know that the doctor who escapes forever later becomes a disciple or whatever of Jigsaw. Like he becomes
lot
one
of
of the
them do.
princes, like the fucking, like the pig lady. I remember that was the one movie where like I think I watched it just the time to where like I thought I was seeing like pig ladies around the corner, like chicks in a pig mask.
Yes.
It's like, damn,
Yes.
bro. You
You
get
know,
paranoid.
I think she was in the second one, and she was like a heroin addict. She survived one of the Jigsaw games, and then now she's ended up like in a game with them. But then it turns out like she was in on it the whole time. She ended up becoming his like prodigy, so she ends up running the games as well. And then
Mhm.
another one's like a cop as well. Cop runs a game, and then he gets betrayed by another guy. It's so fucking like
Yeah, it was
intricate.
like, I just remember the cops chasing him too in the one scene, and then the guy turns around like brings a shotgun, and he just gets blasted away. I remember that.
Yep.
Fucking Chucky. The Chucky movies are funny. They're just fun to watch. Like they're fucking campy fun movies. Like this serial killer gets fucking put into a doll because of his fucking witch girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, he does.
But dolls are like the least. Like I fucking doll tropes and horror movies are so funny to me because I'm like, bro, I just punt the fuck out of that thing. What's it gonna do to me? I just
Dude,
kick the shit out of them.
I shit you not. I was terrified of Chucky from when I was 6 years old all the way until I was like 13. I was terrified. I never saw any of the movies. I just knew Killer Doll, and I get very unsettled by dolls. I'm
Yeah.
creeped out by them still to this day because there's that like uncanny valley.
Yeah, I don't get it because I'm like, I can punt that thing. It's not scared. Anything I can punt across the room, I have no fear of.
Right, exactly. But like with Chucky, I would see the movie cover. My dad used to terrify me with it. He would show me the movie cover, and I would just like burst into tears. And then the first Chucky movie I actually watched was Bride of Chucky, and I'm like, dude, this guy's awesome. Like, it's not scary. This dude's fucking hilarious. Like, his sense of humor is impeccable. Definitely a movie that I came to enjoy. But then the later ones, I watched the first two, I think. Didn't watch the third one. No, I did watch the third one. Watched up to number 6, which was Curse of Chucky. But then there's a new one called Cult of Chucky, and I'm not fucking with that because I think it's lame, personally.
Isn't there a TV series coming out now?
Yeah, it's called Cult of Chucky, I believe.
Well, what I thought that was a new movie too. Not the AI one, but there was one before that too.
Let me see.
Like I know the AI one was like the last one, like last year, the year before. But before that, there was also a different one. It was like in a
Cult of
mental
Chucky
institute or
was
some shit.
Yeah, Cult of Chucky is the movie that came out in 2017.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Okay. Yeah, so then that
It was
one
in like a
came-
mental institute or some shit because they're acting like Chucky's a figment of their imagination or whatever. Then it turns out he's
Says-
real.
Let's see.
But there's a show.
Yeah, mental institution,
No.
definitely. Yeah, there is one. Fuck, where is it? I gotta find that now.
Fucking they'd be ruining like so many horror icons by that shit.
They also
though.
rebooted the movie too. Child's Play. They dropped one in 2019.
Yeah, no, it's the AI one.
Is it?
Yeah, where he's like an AI, like he's like a computer, some shit. Like he's like a programmable. Like he has like the app or whatever that like lets you
Ew.
control him or whatever. He's like a robot.
It's a
And it was, like,
high-tech doll and becomes self-aware and subsequently murders. Wow.
It's just a
Mark
killer
Hamill's the
AI done
voice
a
of
different way.
Chucky.
And I think they're making the show. I don't know if they're doing it with the AI one again, but like I know there's a show coming out on like Sci-Fi or some USA or some shit.
It's gonna be garbage. The only
It's
benefit
super
of
garbage.
the Child's Play like movie reboot, the AI one, is that Mark Hamill was the voice of Chucky. Other than that, it's trash.
They do it all the time. Like they had the Friday at 13th like reboot was almost good. Like the one they did where they remade it.
2009.
Then there was the
2009.
Nightmare on. Yeah, I think.
The one with the guy from Supernatural.
I don't fucking know, bro. And the fucking like Nightmare on Elm Street fucking one was meh. But it was a guy who played Rorschach, so I was like, I like him, I'll watch it. It was not that good. And fucking I actually listen, this is a controversial opinion, but I actually like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
You know what? I agree.
Like I actually like the different take where again he's still like he actually does die in the second one, but like they always give him like a more like human, like serial killer type background. Like I like that more.
Yep. I actually
like
watched the
I think they
Halloween.
have a lot of charm.
So yeah, the Rob Zombie Halloween one was the first Halloween movie I actually watched. I never actually watched the originals.
You know, neither have I actually. Now I think about it, I've only seen those movies.
Funny story about the director, because the director of the first Halloween is named Mustafa Akkad, and in 2005 in Jordan there was a series of bombings at like hotels and malls, suicide bombings, of course, because that's the Arab specialty, and the director of the original Halloween movie was in a hotel at his daughter's wedding, and he actually died in the explosion.
Rip. I was doing something like that. Took like delayed information to my brain to like. It wasn't until like 5 seconds later I processed that. I was like, oh.
Another thing you can thank Arabs for is for ruining the Halloween series.
Rip. They ruin everything they touch.
So the Chucky TV series, it looks like okay. The main character, his name is Jake Wheeler. He's a 14-year-old queer boy who encounters
Oh my
Chucky
God.
during a yard sale. That's
Chucky
literally
hates
what
faggots.
yeah, Chucky hates fags.
Chucky's homophobic now, just like Michael Myers, where he's just signed the kid down because he's queer.
Apparently, yeah.
It's like I saw him fucking another kid. Time to die.
They bring Jennifer Tilly back because Tiffany.
Nice. Fucking.
And then they bring. It says the girl who plays Nika Pierce, so like the main character from the Cult of Chucky movie with the mental institution.
Yeah.
Since the events of Cult of Chucky, she got possessed by Chucky.
What? I guess he is just a serial killer soul or whatever. So I mean, if you can possess a doll, I assume you can possess a human.
Yep. And then the original actor Alex Vincent, who plays Andy from the first movie, is back in it as well. It says he's Chucky's arch nemesis, who has been tormented by him since 1988. This motherfucker been living rent free in this guy's head for like the last 33 years. He just will not kill this kid.
Remember the dolls have sex in like the third one? So he came in the female doll, full on bang.
Yeah, Bride of Chucky. He was fucking her, and she was like, "Wait, do you have a rubber?" He was like, "Look at me, Tiff, I'm all rubber." I thought you were plastic. He goes, "Eh." And she ends up giving birth.
Yep.
He full on jerks off in the fifth movie in Seed of Chucky.
There's 5. I think I've seen the first 3. I think I have the first 3 like on a collective, DVD collection.
Yeah, you got Child's Play 1, 2, and 3, which are all about Andy. And then you got Bride of Chucky, which is the 4th one.
And Son of Chucky, I thought.
And then there's Seed of Chucky, which is number 5.
I think I do have a 5, because I definitely have the fucking Bride of Chucky one. Maybe I just have all 5, I don't remember that.
Seed of Chucky is literally the worst one I've ever seen. Garbage. And then number 6 kind of sucks. There's lesbians in it, which
I've seen so many bad horror movies though, because Like me and my cousin, we would watch horror movies together as like a kid. So like we'd have like she'd come over, sleepovers, whatever, and we watch horror movies all night, right? It's like my aunt and like great grandma were like, oh, they like horror movies, and they'd buy like those things that was like 25 horror movies on like these discs. So of course it's like really like shitty B and C horror movies. So like you just put them together and you just watch these dog shit like the Leprechaun movies were a good example. Fucking Jack Frost, which is about a killer like snowman. Yeah, like just so many of those movies I just saw and they all blur together because they're like all the same movie.
I actually have a box set. I mentioned this in the last episode, but obviously half an hour was cut out because of Slinger's dumbass. There's this horror movie box set with like 500 horror movies in it, and I fucking stole that shit. And it literally has all these shitty horror movies on it. I think the worst one I watched was one called Dead Meat. It was like an Irish movie about how all the cows in Ireland, it's kind of like mad cow disease. They have this disease that turns people into zombies. It's the most retarded shit I ever saw. But that was like the first one. And then I think I watched Lake Placid, which is the one with like the crocodile in it.
Remember the Leprechaun one that was super fucking like racist? It was like Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun in the Hood, or some shit. This Leprechaun is going around killing black people. At one point, he sits down with them, like smokes a bong or some shit. Just these two like fucking junky like black people, and then he kills them. Like it was so fucking weird. Yeah, I'd never seen the other two Leprechaun movies either. It was just that one was on this collection of 20 fucking something.
Like, in 2000, they made one called Leprechaun in the Hood, which was the fifth one. That shit literally has fucking actors. It's got Warwick Davis, it's got Ice-T, it's got fucking Coolio in it, and Coolio plays himself, and I think he gets murdered in there.
Bro, isn't there a fucking one where there's a Friday the 13th where there's a boxer? I remember he tries to box Jason and he like punches his head off or some shit.
Yes, this was Jason Takes Manhattan, which was the eighth one. This motherfucker, he's just punching him. He's like chest punching him, body shots, just pushing him back, and then Jason does one fucking hook and just knocks the dude's head off.
Rip Bozo.
Fucking Bozo. Wanna be Mike Tyson looking ass. I bet you if it was Mike Tyson that he would have knocked Jason's head off 100%.
Yeah. He would have fucked him till he loved him.
He would have fucked him till he loved him. So
fucking
funny thing, I'm still on the Wikipedia page of the Chucky movie or the Chucky series. So one of them is like, this kid, he buys the doll, blah blah blah, and then Jake's cousin Junior makes a snide remark about how Jake, the main character, spends too much time playing with dolls and comments on Jake being gay.
You play with dolls, you must be a faggot.
And then literally episode 2, it says, back in the 60s, Charles Lee Ray, who is Chucky, says, returns from home from trick-or-treating, inspecting his candy, finds an apple with a razor blade in it, but eats it anyway. What? Caring as he cuts his mouth.
Damn, hardcore. Metal as shit, bro. What a retard kid. He's like, you're not badass, you're just stupid.
And this is why he ends up being a serial killer and puts his body into a doll. Not surprising. This motherfucker eats apples with razor blades in them because he's a fucking idiot.
Damn. My parents would do inspections in my candy. I remember that to check for like that type of shit. Because like there would be like there was shit going around where people were putting razors and chocolate bars and shit. I remember that.
Yeah, I heard about that, but my mom was never concerned about that. She would just she would be the one who would be more worried about shit like that, because she always sheltered the fuck out of me. I couldn't bring friends over and shit. I couldn't go to other people's houses either.
Like, who the fuck doesn't know it's a razor?
For real,
a tiny ass chocolate bar.
Exactly. But there was one story. And it was another Lazy Masquerade video. It was about like Halloween horror stories. This one guy went trick-or-treating with his son and shit, and they went to somebody's house, and then this person gave the kid pixie sticks, and the kid ate pixie sticks and he fucking died because there was cyanide in them.
Red bozo.
And the real dick kicker is that it wasn't the neighbor who did. The dad was like, I don't remember which house we went to, I don't remember. Turns out the fucking dad put cyanide in it, and he took a life insurance policy out on his son.
What? Damn.
There's layers to this shit.
That's some hardcore shit. Like, you just murder your own fucking son for fucking some cheap ass money.
Yeah. At least the kid died happy eating candy, you know what I'm saying? He didn't just fucking strangle him and leave him in the bushes or something.
It's a smart plan, actually. You just fucking blame it on some fucking neighbor. Be like, we just got it some point in the night. Actually, a smart idea. Obviously, he probably cracked or something.
No, it's because his dumbass took out a life insurance policy, and then they started to press him on it. That's another thing. Don't do a life insurance policy within a week of killing somebody.
Yeah, you got to do it years before. Like, come on. Like, he should have done it then, like, 3 years later. Oh no.
Fuck yeah, like that shit's fucking retarded, dude. Be smarter about it. There was one lady who fucking killed herself. She hung herself on a tree, and her body was decomposing for like months until somebody found her. They thought she was a Halloween prop because that's when they discovered her. And the next day, she wasn't.
Why is that shit still out?
Yeah. They were like, "Why the fuck is that decoration still up?" And then they touched her, and they're like, "Oh wait, she's a fucking rotting corpse."
Ugh, how embarrassing.
And there's actually another one of this guy who had a haunted house, right? He did a haunted house, and one of these horror YouTubers was actually one of the kids who was like in there. And this guy had a bunch of like bodies on the wall chained up. They were rotting, and they were like, "Ew, it fucking smells in here." And this one kid went up and he touched it. It was a human. There was like a bunch of dead bodies in this guy's basement. That was his haunted house. It was actual corpses, and they fucking arrested this dude.
What a retard.
Right.
He's like, they'll never suspect this.
Yeah. So right here, Ronald O'Brien has been called the man who killed Halloween and the Candy Man. Not a good name to have, but it's kind of based. Halloween in 1974. It says Timothy O'Brien returned to his Houston home from a long night of trick-or-treating. His father gave him a pixie stick, which the kid ate instantly. Within moments, he was vomiting and he died on the way to the hospital. After changing his story multiple times, police learned that Ronald was responsible for his son's death. He was in debt and had taken out a life insurance policy on his children. So not just the one, but all of them.
Damn.
Since 1974, parents still check their kids' candy to see if it's been tampered with. That's awesome.
Just imagine, like, how must his siblings feel? Be like, Dad killed our brother and he was gonna try to kill us. Like, to find out you're so disposable to, like, the one person who's, like, supposed to love you.
Exactly. Yeah. How do you trust that person? You'd never, like, how do you live at that point?
You literally never trust anyone again.
Yep.
Like, the one person who's supposed to, like, take care of you fucking just murders your sibling, then was gonna murder you too. Like, that's some life-ruining, like, realizations right there.
Yeah. So I'm on this page, right, on insider.com, and it's talking about murders committed on Halloween night. One of them says, Carl Jackson was killed over an egging incident. And I'm wondering if he was the one who did the egging or if he was the one who got egged. So it turns out, 21-year-old Bronx resident, so this was in New York, because New Yorkers are fucking savages. Him and his girlfriend went to pick up her son from a party. Teenagers threw eggs at their car. And then Jackson got out of the car to yell at the pranksters to stop, and in response, one of them pulled a gun and he shot him.
Rip.
Like, I'm gonna throw eggs at your car, and if you come confront me about it, I'm gonna kill you. Like, what the fuck? That's bitch shit.
Fucking. You ever do TP in someone's house or some shit? People did that.
I thought about it. About it once.
I got my car egged once. Like, they just hit, like, my taillight. I was so pissed having to scrape that shit off. Like,
nice.
You fucking assholes. Like, who fucking just, like, casually throws eggs at some car? Like, you have to be some bored-ass teenager.
For real.
You just randomly hit my one fucking taillight, and that's all. It was literally that one spot. It was like, they're like, we have one egg fucking left. Let's just throw it at this random-ass car. Like, you cunt. Fucking beat your ass if I found you.
There was a time, unrelated to Halloween, me and my dad were checking, like, our back tire to make sure it wasn't leaking air. And while we were, like, bent over doing this, some fucking douchebag threw a water balloon at the quarter pan, like, basically where the tail light was of the car, and that shit blew up, and I'm like, the fuck just happened? Somebody threw a fucking water balloon at us. Fucking Californians. That's one of the reasons why I hated California. Motherfuckers just, like, interfere with everything you do. Obnoxious as fuck.
Yeah, fucking. I remember fucking seeing some houses fucking TP'd once after Halloween, but I never really did the TP or egging shit. I did ding dong ditch as a kid, but like that's all. And that was on Halloween.
Hey yo.
Yeah, I remember one. The one who just caught us. Remember we ding dong ditched and we didn't even run away because he came to door so fast. We just tried hiding under his car, around the area, and he I guess he saw someone or was just going out, so he was gonna call the police. And our neighbors were literally state policemen, so they essentially just came over and said we were doing it. Fucking snitches.
Have you seen those videos of guys who dressed up in ghillie suits in Florida and they would ding dong ditch and they would just hide next to somebody that dude's bushes and just chill there?
The ultimate game.
That would be hella lit. But a couple of those videos, I think somebody pulled a gun on them.
Bro, imagine pulling a gun for ding dong ditching. You gotta have some fucking temper. I'd be fucking annoyed, but pull out a fucking gun. You die today. Ding dong ditch. Ding dong die.
There was a time, back when I was 10 years old, we went ding dong ditching on someone's house. So we banged on the door and then we ran to the nearest the nearby playground. And I don't know how. Well, I'm gonna assume this lady knew. I don't know how she knew it was us, but she fucking came up to a bunch of kids, started yelling at us. She was like, "My mother is sick and has problems walking. I can't believe you guys would just knock on my door and run away like that. She has trouble getting up. If she falls and gets hurt, it's all on you. Shut the fuck up. Do not care. Did not ask."
Fucking people always took that shit so seriously.
How much time you gotta have to just yell at a bunch of kids for some bullshit like that?
I remember one time I threw a rock at a car and I fucking winged it real good.
Nice.
Before school, we'd just throw rocks, not even at car, we would literally be throwing them across the street or whatever. And I threw one and this car just boom, whips around the corner, going fast as shit. And of course, it goes in slow motion to where I'm like, oh no, I see how this is gonna end up. And bam, it just hits the fucking side of their door. They keep driving, right? So at first I'm like, oh, I'm good. You go to school and then the next day you get that knock on your door. And he gets the neighbor kid snitched on me because they thought it was him. And I could have thrown him under a bus and been like, yeah, it was him, because they all thought it was him who did it. But I owned up. I was like, it was me. And they wanted, these people, it was a little fucking, tiny ding. They even chip paint, but they tried to say that to get, it painted. They had to, remove the whole door and it was going to cost a bunch of money. They tried to scam, my parents out of it. And, so, I remember them just arguing them back down to $150, $100 or whatever the fuck. And I got the shit beat out of me for that. Fucking, I should have just thrown that kid under the bus because he was a cunt. That kid, me and him would fight all the fucking time. I remember we played Smear the Queer, which I don't know if you've ever played.
No.
After school, we play Smear the Queer, which is essentially we get off the bus, we go this patch of grass, me, him, and just this other kid, just three of us. What Smear the Queer is you have a football and you throw it, and whoever fucking gets the ball is the queer, and you fucking tackle them, just beat the fuck out of them to the ground, and then they toss it to someone else, and they're the queer. And me, this other kid would just constantly toss it to him, just so we could fucking knock the shit out of him because he was so fucking annoying. We'd literally do that every day after school. Just get off, play Smear the Queer, go home. Get off, play Smear the Queer, go home. It was a nice little tradition of just fucking going at this kid for being an annoying little fuckhead.
Fuck yeah, you got a personal vendetta against that motherfucker.
He did. He got me jumped later on, fucking.
Oh yeah, you should have smeared him harder then.
Sixth grade, because the other dude I was with, he was the cool kid on the street, or whatever, but he was a little fucking snake and weasel. Because not only was he a snitch, I remember one time we got in trouble and he snitched while I didn't. But then he'd go back and forth between me and this other kid who he would be on, whose side he was on or whatever, because he was a little snake. And so, this kid had the one basketball hoop of the street, essentially, right? None of the other kids could afford it. So, everybody on the street would just share this kid's basketball hoop, essentially. And so...
Hey, yo. What the fuck? What the fuck happened?
For some reason, that was weird. My bad.
I thought Mo left. I was like, what the fuck?
I like disconnected for like 2 seconds for no reason.
Nice.
So we were all using this basketball hoop because it was like the street's basketball hoop. And, like I'm just there, and all of a sudden, like this kid's older brother, not the kid I beat up, but like the snake kid, a fucking senior in high school. I'm in 6th grade. Just holds my fucking like arms behind my back, and this fucking kid picks up my basketball and just fucking throws it in my face. I had glasses on, because I had glasses at the time, so like it cut like under my eye. And fucking this kid runs all the way fucking back to his home. I remember I ripped out of my fucking this fucking high schooler fucking senior's arms. And I just chased him. And like I get to his house, I'm all fucking flustered. You know, I'm so upset. Like, you know, you get upset and like you get overwhelmed. Your like eyes start watering or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, out of sheer anger.
You're not crying because you're sad, but like you're fucking just upset. Like I'm doing that shit. My fucking glasses are all fucking tilted and shit because I just had a basketball thrown in my face. I'm screaming, and guess what? His parents were the state cops I mentioned earlier too.
Nice.
Like, fucking, so like, I remember my parents come down like because then the other kids come down the street because I'm just screaming at this kid and his fucking parents to open the fucking door.
Nice.
And I like it was weird because his mom, but like did not like this kid. Like she believed me when I fucking said the shit he would do. Like so like she was fully behind my kid's a fucking little asshole. But then like the dad was the complete opposite to where he always took their sides. Like I think he was a state cop and then she was like a local cop or whatever. And I remember like the one time I got in a screaming match with this man. His fucking full ass 40-something-year-old state cop bent down and was screaming at me because like, there's like these 2 chicks over, like new chicks or like chicks visiting family, and like we were all playing in the street or whatever, including this like kid's little sister. She annoyed me. I'm gonna admit I did this because it was fucked up, but like so she was annoying me. So like I bent down like I was going like to tie my shoes, and I fucking swept her leg out from under her, and she fell, and like she like hurt her knee or whatever the fuck, and she was like she cried and ran home. And like she had to run back inside or whatever. But like nobody saw me do it. Everybody like believed me when I said I didn't do it. But like this dude came out of his house and just full on lied and said he was like at the edge of his parking lot and saw it. This dude, I literally watched him come out of this house. So like he didn't see shit. Like there was no way he would have known it was me. And like this dude just comes up. I'm like, you know, a fucking angry little asshole, like 11-year-old. And he just bends over my face and he's just screaming in my fucking face. I'm screaming back at him, and then my parents have to like come fucking, you know, it's like don't get in my kid's face, you know.
Right.
So, to be fair, I did do it, but he couldn't have known that. But it was an asshole move on my part. But she was so goddamn annoying.
Fucking A, dude. I had an incident one time. I was with this one kid, Iraqi guy. I've known him for years, and like, we used to get into a lot of fucking trouble with each other. A lot. Like, I don't know if we got caught stealing, but there was a time we were at Macy's together, and we were on like the 2nd floor of Macy's. It was me, him, and his younger sister, and I think it was mine as well. And fucking, we were spitting 2 floors down at the people shopping at Macy's. And like, somebody comes upstairs to like grab us and like, you know, try to find our parents. And he runs away. And I tried to run, but I was a fat ass kid. I couldn't get very far. So that motherfucker caught up to me and she grabbed my arm and she's like, "Where is your mother?" And like, I had to point her to her and I got in trouble. And I also got the shit beat out of me by my mom and grandma for doing stupid shit like that. Another time with him, we were at my place and I have a BB rifle. I don't know how they let me take it into Jordan, but I did. And it shoots metal BBs. And this motherfucker, he aims it out the window and he shoots it into the neighbor's window. It doesn't break it or anything. It just leaves a small, like, BB-sized hole in the window. But the guy's shouting. He's like, "I want the owner of the house. I'm going to sue you, blah, blah, blah. Take my mom." I'm like, "Hey, mom, this guy's tripping out, blah, blah, blah." Fucking, she goes over there. She apologizes. She's like, "We'll pay for it." And then my mom gets all mad because she's like, his dad did this same shit with a real gun. This man was cleaning his gun, or he was fucking around with it. He forgot there was a bullet in it, and he fucking shot through his wall into the neighbor's house. I'm like, fuck, it's not the same. It's just a BB gun, like, relax. But nope.
Oh fuck! I remember my uncle told me this story, but like One time, like, he had like airsoft guns or whatever, and like his kid would like to play with them or whatever. And I think he like had a friend, like, who was around his age, who was just playing airsoft or whatever with his son, or like messing around. And like he shot him with like an actual, like his son like hit him like with an actual BB gun. So like he hurt his son, my cousin or whatever, talk about it and get hurt by it. So like what he did was hold this fucking grown man down and then had his son just shoot a bunch of fucking BBs in his face because he hit him with that BB. So he's like, "You hit my kid with a BB, get down." And he just fucking held him down, and then my cousin just shot him a fucking shit ton with the BB gun.
Nice. I actually almost shot sis in the eye one time. I actually did. But because she got astigmatism, fucking the BB landed like right where the tear duct is. That little bead that's like right in the corner of your eye on the like right where your nose is, where your tear.
Yeah, I've gotten fucking hot grease hit there. Like my mother was frying bacon one time and a fucking grease popped and hit me right there.
Same.
It's close.
So this one, like the BB landed there, but because she had astigmatism, that shit just like rolled out of there. But she would have gone blind if that shit hit her. Which is nice, we love almost blinding people with BBs and shit like that. Another time.
Here. What we should do is we should save these for next week because these are like childhood stories or whatever. We can wrap.
Yeah, these are technically childhood stories.
You can wrap this episode up. It's been almost an hour.
You want to go ahead and do the outro?
Yep. All right, everybody. That's been Drip League Podcast episode what? 16? Yep. Halloween edition for the most part. Fucking, it was literally just me and Zaraki talking the whole time. Fucking.
Yeah, so Contra's a bum. He hasn't.
Contra just sat here.
Fun.
My
fucking,
life sucks.
Yeah, your life sucks. You fucking miserable piece of shit.
Yep. So it's just
yourself.
There's Zaraki and Skelly Halloween special. So
Zaraki,
there you go.
Special, yeah.
The end.